What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham G.S. and Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today we're talking the October 8th, 2022 edition of the SmackDown LowDown from right before Extreme Rules yesterday. A lot of this is outdated. The pay-per-view was last night. It was a very good show. Bray Wyatt is back, baby. Amazing stuff. I did post on that note all of my live reactions from the show. I was indeed in Philly for the event on Saturday night. Filmed a lot of reactions, a lot of video of a lot of the entrances, returns, Bray Wyatt's return, which is up to, I think, almost 200,000 hits before it probably gets taken down due to copyright, a lot like a lot of my other videos, which is completely understandable. But enjoy them while they last here on the channel. The video is also up my Twitter as well, in case the video one here on YouTube gets taken down. But thank you guys. If you're a new subscriber, I appreciate it. But thank you guys for checking out those videos, subscribing, checking out other stuff here on the channel. I very much appreciate it. So we're well past the 30,000 subscriber mark. I have yet to formally celebrate that yet. Put out a statement about it, whatever. And just thank you guys for that. I probably will do that at some point. I'm just very delayed on a lot of fronts, a lot of, backed up on with several things. But thank you guys for the continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So back to SmackDown LowDown, we had Jackie Redmond in the studio. Matt Camp called in. He was in Philly already for Extreme Rules, so he was on the show, just kind of zoomed in. Jerry Lawler, unfortunately, was the special guest analyst for the episode, special in quotation marks. I know he was on the pre-show yesterday. I saw him on the panel when I got to the arena. Thank God I don't watch that shit, because I'm sure his analysis is completely pointless. But anyway, start the show here. They replayed the Bloodline Logan Paul segment that started SmackDown. Not an overly great segment, I thought. It was fine in the further their feud, but I thought they could have done better. From there, Matt Camp and Jackie Redmond run down the biggest headlines from a very newsworthy SmackDown on Friday, the season premiere, as it was touted as, before recapping the Drew McIntyre Karrion Kross brawl. We catch up with Drew backstage with Megan Morant. Drew says that he snuck up on Karrion, like, Karrion has snuck up on him in recent weeks. He called Karrion the horror movie guy. And he said Kross felt his best in that with that strap on Friday night on SmackDown when he whipped the shit out of him, and he's going to feel his best in the strap match, or did feel his best in the strap match at Extreme Rules last night, and he's not going to stop whipping him until Kross is begging him to. Jerry Lawler says Extreme Rules just won't be Drew's night, and he was right. I don't like Jerry, but he was right. Drew did lose that match, as he should have. And Matt Camp said that strap matches is Karrion Kross's wheelhouse, and he made a name for himself in Philly 5 years ago. I don't know what he's referencing with that. I wasn't really following too much of Kross's career before probably Impact. I know he was in Lucha. That's probably where I first saw him many, many years ago. What was that, 2016, 2017? I don't remember, but I don't know if that's, Lucha was in California, so I don't know. There must have been some sort of a match or a, moment or whatever that he had in Philly that made him stand out 5 years ago. I started to really kind of get to know who he was in Impact, which was in 2018, I think. So I don't know what Kross is talking. I guess Matt Camp is from Philly, so I'm not really sure what he's talking about, but I'm sure there was some sort of specific match or moment he was referencing. Anyway, Jerry Lawler, this fucking guy, called Sami Zayn a waste of skin and that he always causes trouble. And I know he's talking in character, but Jerry's analysis is pointless, and it just makes me dislike him that much more just when he says stuff like that. Because Sami Zayn's the best part of any fucking show right now, and even Jackie and Matt Camp will tell you that. From there, they recap the debut of Legado del Fantasma on SmackDown on Friday and the return of Zelina Vega. Great segment, great return. Love the pairing. Matt Camp mentions that Vega has led champions in the past, in addition to being a former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion herself. So when he's referencing, she's led champions in NXT and on the main roster, he's only really referring to one man, that being Andrade. What other fucking champions has Zelina led in WWE? She's been in the company now for 5 or 6 years. I know she briefly managed Theory and Garza as part of that stable, but they never won gold when Zelina was managing them. Andrade is the only man that won gold with Zelina, that being the NXT Championship 5 years ago and the United States Championship a few years ago. So I know they're not going to name Andrade by name, especially in light of what happened this week in AEW, but that's pretty much who he was referring to. And he also says, Matt Camp does, that Santos Escobar, the leader of Legado, is going to be a name that everyone is talking about by the end of the year, and I very much agree with that. Escobar is amazing. He really should have been on the main roster years ago, but better late than never. From there, they recap the New Day, Braun Strowman win in 6-man tag team action over the Bloodline, Sami Zayn and the Usos. Kofi and Xavier talk about choosing Strowman as their partner, and why wouldn't they? Kofi brings up that when Strowman came back that first night on Raw, I think it was the Raw I think it was the Labor Day Raw right after Clash at the Castle. He came back and demolished the entire tag team division. He spared New Day. They weren't. I mean, they were out there for the match, but like they disappeared or something. And Kofi, I love the continuity here, and I wish they mentioned this on SmackDown. They spared him, or he spared them rather, because they're friends, Kofi says. And Woods mentions making money with Strowman and all this other sort of stuff. And it was funny. Woods was carrying a light tube, a colorful light tube. He made an ECW reference because they were in Philly last night for Extreme Rules. I thought he was carrying a fucking lightsaber for a second because Alexis actually bought one of those in New York Comic-Con, which is where I know he was on Thursday. So I'm thinking, did he buy a saber at Comic-Con and bring it here to the show? But obviously not. It was a random light tube they had lying around, I guess, at SmackDown. Anyway, Matt Camp says that, the Bloodline, Sammy, and the Usos got to get on the same page before recapping Gunther and Sheamus, too, for the Intercontinental Championship at the main event of SmackDown. Did not go Sheamus' way. Gunther did retain the title. Backstage, Megan Moran catches up with the Brawling Brutes, Butch, Ridge Holland, Sheamus. Butch says it's fight night at Extreme Rules. Ridge Holland says that they're going to get their pound of flesh come Saturday, and Sheamus says that Gunther knows that Sheamus had that match won before he pulled out that shillelagh. And come Extreme Rules, they're going to put on another banger after another banger after another banger, and spoiler alert, it was another fucking banger, won by the Brawling Brutes themselves. Great match to kick off the show on Saturday. Definitely one of the better matches, if not the best match of the night. Jerry Lawler says the outcome of Friday's match definitely does impact their match at Extreme Rules, which, Gunther won the first one, Brawling Brutes won on Saturday, made perfect sense. Mentions that you're going to have to kill Sheamus to have him to stop fighting. And Matt Camp says the Brawling Brutes have nothing to lose in that match, and sure enough, they emerge victorious on Saturday. So from there, they run down the Extreme Rules card. It might have just been Jackie. I don't know if Matt Camp joined in on that. They didn't show them at all while they were running down the card or afterwards, so I assume they pre-taped that part of it. And because we didn't see Jackie at all, we just heard her, but we didn't see her, so I assume they already pre-taped that or whatever. And so that just to make the show shorter, I guess, or whatever, right before the pay-per-view. So this was out early yesterday. I was already on the road for Extreme Rules at that point, so I didn't have a chance to watch it. But this was decent stuff. I mean, there's really no point in watching it now. The pay-per-view's already come and gone. But I do watch it anyway, even after the pay-per-views, because some stuff they touch upon, like the Bloodline and Logan Paul stuff, did not happen at Extreme Rules, has nothing to do with that. But I did like that pretty much this entire episode of the SmackDown LowDown did have to do with Extreme Rules on the day of Extreme Rules. So thank you guys for checking out my review. I appreciate it. Like I said earlier, not only like this video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel, but also check out all my other live reactions from Extreme Rules in person at the Wells Fargo Center last night in Philly. Great time. I had a really, really awesome experience attending that event alongside Alexis and watching the Bray Wyatt return live. Incredible stuff. So the full video of that entire return from the in-person perspective is up here on the channel from last night. Check it out. And if you haven't already, like I said, please subscribe. All that stuff is greatly appreciated. Have an awesome one, guys. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.